Episode 10, Eight Eyes, No Lies. We got Chandler Thomas joining us today. He's going to be a special guest. Obviously, co-host Mason's not here. He's the busiest man east of the Mississippi River. But Chandler actually was leading our bracket challenge for March Madness. It was supposed to do this episode on Wednesday. It's gotten pushed back to Friday. Probably won't get posted till Saturday morning. So things have kind of shaken up a little bit. But going into the Sweet 16, CT right here was absolutely kicking everybody's ass. He is our, I'm going to say sports expert to me because he freaking crunches numbers. He dives into the analytics. If he tells me to bet on something, I'm probably going to take his advice. But how do you look? I hadn't really looked at what's going on the Elite Eight through the Final Four. Is your bracket still looking good, or is like
Yeah,
shit hit the
I mean,
fan yet, or what?
I didn't look to see if I'm still leading. I think I am because I had Illinois beating Houston last night, and I don't think anything else crazy happened. I mean, Arizona won. Nobody had Iowa making it, so that doesn't
No,
matter. So I think I should still be leading it, but no, bracket's looking good.
not
I'm pumped.
surprised. Not surprised. Iowa went through that gauntlet that was Clemson basketball, so they're primed to beat anybody.
Yeah, you can beat anybody. You get through Clemson. It's
Right,
game on.
right. But so we got Elite Eight coming up. There's some Sweet 16 games on right now that we are sacrificing our time away from that to do this for you guys. But the MLB opening day was yesterday, which is freaking electric. I got my Rays gear. I know you're a Rays
Yep.
fan, so I'm
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of excited to talk about that later on in the show. But I want to dive into your bracket right now. I'm gonna pull it up here on my phone while I do this. But a question I have for you is like when you're picking these games, like we obviously know that upsets are bound to happen in March Madness, and like that's what makes March Madness. March Madness is so electric, and like I noticed you were pretty heavy on the favorites for the most part, like early in this thing, and like that's what all the experts were telling me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen,
Yep.
but is there a reason for that this year? And then like, are there like certain statistics that you specifically look at that you think correlate to those upsets that maybe you didn't see this year?
So I mean, like this bracket that's in your pool now, I make 13 brackets, or I made 13 brackets this year, and
Okay,
11 of them are purely research. I don't put any thought into it. I got research that I do throughout the year, and this was one method of it. So this bracket I put in there last 2 years, it's been my best bracket. So I knew this is the one that should do well, and it's just looking at how teams do against good teams, basically. So last year I looked at it, and there were a few upsets in the first round that I predicted didn't pan out. But this year, I think it comes down to NIL, how it's really affecting college basketball. The good
wow,
teams are that much better than the mid majors, just how it is.
wow, because that's a good point. Because what was last year like the first time, maybe ever, maybe the first time in a while that all one seeds made it to the Final Four?
It was first time in a while that, and it was the first time since the early 2000s that no mid majors made the Sweet 16. Was last year
Wow.
the same thing. So, and this year, no mid majors did either. So it's unfortunate because I'm a Boise fan that it's just the gap is widening, and there's no, as much as we like upsets to happen, they still might happen in the first round a couple times. But if this keeps going the way it is, you're not going to see the
Yeah.
UMBCs, the 15 seeds win too often anymore.
Dude, I think the Dabo's rubbing off on me because like I still just like I'm behind. I'm behind. I had freaking High Point winning 2 games maybe.
Hmm.
No, maybe not 2 games. Yeah, I did. I had them winning 2
Yep.
games. Like that's not a realistic thing in 2026, which I kind of hate that. That kind of sucks to me.
When I did my preview for college basketball at the beginning of the year, I went through all 365 teams. I think it was 5 or 6 teams kept their entire roster from last year. It was
Wow.
and there were probably 10 or 12 that didn't have a single person from the roster last year. It's just the transfer portal and everything is affecting it so much. It's a shame. I mean, there's no consistency. The only teams that kept their roster were military.
Wow.
4 military schools.
Like and like what makes that difference than like the one and done? Like it seems like there was a lot of turnover already, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I
There's
guess go ahead.
Yeah, there's just no consistency. It's everybody's a one and done at one school basically, and then you leave, and then you come back to maybe go somewhere else. I mean, you look at Yaxel Lendenberg from Michigan. Was a star at UAB, and he was great there, and now he's great at Michigan. So if you start at a smaller school, you're not going to be there for long at all.
And like I feel like going forward, it's only going to get worse unless they change some things. I mean, teams are going to start figuring out like, hey, like if I'm starting at a mid major, I got to get the hell out of here pretty quickly if I want to go have some success. I got to go to Duke or Florida or wherever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Probably not good for the brand of March Madness, the madness part of it.
I mean, the one good thing we have is there was still some great games. I mean, the first game, TCU Ohio State was a really good game. Then you had a High Point beating who they beat
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah, High Point beat Wisconsin. It's so you're still going to see that, but the occasional 15 beating the 2 or the 16 beating the 1 or 14 beating the 3. There were no really close games. It's just it sucked.
True. And that to prove your point, like that shows how big of an anomaly it was when what Sierra was like hanging in there with
Yeah.
Duke or
Mhm.
Sienna.
Yeah.
Who was Sienna? Yeah, I mean they had them on the ropes. That just to me it doesn't say anything about them. It's just like Duke was playing terrible,
Yeah.
probably
Mhm.
just
That's basically
overlooked them.
that's all it was.
Yeah. Um. So I guess my second part that I want to ask you is like I did notice that you picked VCU over North Carolina. Like looking back, I mean North Carolina fires their coach after this loss, but like that was probably the biggest upset that you nailed.
Mhm.
You didn't pick High Point, did you?
No, no, I don't think I did in any bracket.
Okay.
And
Um.
and again, like most of my brackets are research based, but
Yeah.
there were some, I could definitely see him keeping it close. I mean, Chase Johnston, they're number 99. That's how you win a game as a mid major in March Madness. You make threes, right? But to what
Yeah.
you just got to get hot, and
You
I
got to get
definitely
hot.
saw that being a possibility.
So with you picking VCU, that was the 11 seed advancing was the highest seed that
Yeah.
you got right, and that was your biggest upset. Like, what goes into deciding like a pick like VCU, and how do you discipline yourself to keep these Cinderella runs like realistic? Like, I mean, I guess you like you said, you rely so much on your statistics, like analytics and stuff, but like it like I told you, like it takes everything in me not to have High Point go to the Elite Eight, and I guess that just comes down to me just not knowing
It,
ball.
I mean, it's the hope. It's the hope factor. You hope Iowa can make the run. You hope a mid major can. But that's the great thing about basketball. How it differs from football or a lot of other sports. Anything can happen. It's 40 minutes. You shoot the lights out. You're going to win. So that's
Yep.
why High Point beat Wisconsin. But keeping it sane or safe, whatever you want to call it, you got to. Yes, they can win one game, but then they're probably playing somebody better the next round. Like ECU then played the 3 seed, so they're playing a better team. So they had to be even more lights out to beat them, which
Sure.
obviously didn't pan out.
Yeah. What'd you see in VCU to pick them over North Carolina? Like, I'm sure those teams are pretty similar. Like, when you get in those middle seeds, like, probably not a ton of separation. But what made you pick VCU over North Carolina?
I mean, it's boiling down to a little bit coaching more so. Talk about it a little bit more with Iowa, but TCU's coach now is Phil Martelli Jr., who's he used to coach Bryant when they made a little bit of run. I can't remember the guy's name. They made a little bit of a run in March Madness. They won a game or two. If you get a guy a coach who knows how to be an underdog, knows what to tell his team. I don't know what they tell their team, but you know what to tell them. They can make a run.
Yeah.
They can win some games. They're not afraid of anybody. And VCU, the Atlantic 10 conference this year was probably the best mid-major conference. They're playing tough competition. St. Louis was in there. St. Joseph's, who just lost the NIT, was in there. So they played some tough
Mm.
competition. I think they're an underrated team compared to what they should have been.
There are levels of this because me and Mason were talking about if there was even an NIT last week. We were on here. We're like, dude, they still do that? Is that still a thing? Like, so you pulling some team from the NIT tells me that there's levels of this, and that is why I haven't looked tonight. I'm hoping that I got bailed out, but my bracket was in dead last out of like 28 that we did this. So it's pretty embarrassing to host the damn thing and then and just being last. But
Yeah.
maybe I need to pay more attention to Atlantic 10 basketball and literally anything else because I'll be the first to say it. Like I'm football all the way through the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden it's like it's conference championships. It's time for the conference tournaments almost.
It's college basketball is one of my favorite. You count top 5 days of the year. I asked
Yeah.
off work for the first day of college basketball. High Point, not high, yeah, no. Queens played Winthrop in Rock Hill at 8 a.m. on Monday, November 5th, and I was there at 8 a.m. to watch that game. It
My
was
God,
great. It was that game, and then Bradley played St. Bonaventure. I was there. I asked off for that day, so I'm not missing this. So I love college basketball almost as
that's
much
all.
as college football. I love it.
That's awesome. There's a that's something that I feel like I had passion for when, in, like I mean, really since high school. I don't know that I've watched it as much as I used to, but and a little bit with, like I mean, I am a College of Charleston fan, probably more so than I am Clemson, but I grew up a Clemson fan basketball-wise, and, like well, going back to College of Charleston, I mean, they don't play on TV much. I'm not subscribing to Flow Sports. I'm not doing
They
that.
need to get out of that. They need to get out of that.
They got to. So I'm not doing that. And then like I'm so sick of Brad Brownell that like I just can't. I don't since I don't have a team. I'm not going to just watch Michigan play Purdue, which is a great game.
Yep.
I'm not gonna watch it. Which maybe I should, and I won't be in last in these brackets. But
It's there's certain games to really watch. Again, and I'm a sicko. I'll watch Tennessee State play UT Martin if it's if they're competing for their conference championship, just because I'm a sicko and I like the underdog story too. But yeah,
yeah,
there's something about the Michigan against Purdue it's such good basketball. I mean,
yeah.
it's you can see the difference in it. But even again, I'll sit there and watch High Point and Winthrop all day just because why not? I love it.
Well, it's convenient too. With like, I mean, how far are you to drive to Winthrop's arena?
10 minutes maybe. So
Yeah,
it's and fun. I didn't. The only game I went to was that first game, Queens against. I didn't go to another one, and I wanted to go to when they play High Point, but I don't
yeah.
know what I was really doing. But it was I wanted to go because I knew High Point was going to be good. They were really good last year. I think they either didn't make it in the last game or barely made it. But it was yeah, they're a solid squad, and I think they'll only get better if they can keep their coach. They put money into that program too, so they might be around for a while.
I'll probably fall into the trap and have them in the Sweet 16 again next year because I'll forget everything that I'm learning
Just
right now. But
keep that hopium going.
yeah, well, that's what we'll get into our top 5 segment, a little bit later with some upsets. But to me, that's, like, what makes sports
All
sports.
right.
Like,
Mhm.
if the favorites won every time, like, no one will watch, I don't think.
It's
Just that
no, and there's a promo for the Colin Cowherd show that I used to watch on Fox or whatever it was on, and his whole thing, he has a monologue saying, "You can root for the underdog, but I'll be right." Rooting for the underdog it's fun.
so much more fun.
Nobody wants to root other than Duke fans, nobody wants to root for Duke.
Fair.
It's just what it is.
Yep, fair. And, like, I guess with March Madness not having as many upsets in the future and, like, the last couple years, I guess it does make for some really great matchups in the Final Four and stuff. Like, you're not gonna have any there's gonna be no frauds, it
No.
doesn't seem like.
Mm. It was the last time you saw that was at 22 or 23 with Florida Atlantic in there with San Diego State. I mean, that Final Four was UConn came out
Nuts.
the other side with San Diego State against Florida Atlantic for that one side. I mean, I unfortunately that with how this is trending, that's probably the last time you'll see that. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
unless
I'll say this, I know I'm a homer, and I don't you probably remember this, but, like, College of Charleston almost beat San Diego State,
yes,
and
yep,
College of Charleston had a great team that year. I truly feel like we win that game, like, we make a little bit of a run to Sweet
no,
16, maybe Elite 8.
absolutely. I mean, look at it, the team that they lost to, barely lost to, made it to the finals. I mean,
Yeah,
I like the transitive property. Hey, you never know what could happen.
exactly, and then after that, like, we I think we played them closer than anybody until they
Mhm.
eventually lost, and that came down to free throws, like, they had to make I mean, it was, like, 15 seconds to go in the game, and they hit a couple of free throws to go up 4, and that was kinda like the
Yeah.
fork in us, but I don't know, that was a heartbreaker too. That was the best in my opinion, that was the best team College of Charleston's ever had.
When that was a 4-13, wasn't it? Was that a
Yep,
4-13? No, yeah,
yep.
yeah. I mean,
I
that's
think we were, like, 3rd I think we were the only team in the country that had 30 wins that year
I
going
think
into
so.
the tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that team was just stacked. That
but
was fun. That was a fun year.
and I picked us to beat San Diego State. Of course, dude,
Mm.
I'm learning that. I'm
Yeah,
just
I mean,
like,
but
I love it.
that's Homer. That's Homer. I mean, same thing. Boise was in the tournament. I'm taking bracket. That's
Picking 'em.
having them go. I don't know about all the way, but they're
Yeah,
gonna go.
I watched, I've seen Boise State play basketball live at the, Charleston Classic
I
one
was there
year.
for that. I
Yeah.
skipped class to go to that. Play St.
Did you?
Bonaventure. I saw them play Temple also, but that
I
was
think I watched them play I can't remember. Maybe was Wake Forest in it that year? For some reason, that's ringing a bell, but that might be wrong. I might
I
be
remember
wrong.
Clemson was in it because Clemson played St. Bonaventure the second game, and I stayed for that because, funny enough, St. Bonaventure travels.
Who they?
They outnumbered Clemson fans in that arena, maybe
Where even
2.
is Saint where is Saint Bonaventure?
It's near Buffalo.
Dang.
But
That's
I
a
mean,
long
I've
way to
seen St. Bonaventure play twice. St. Bonaventure packed the Rock Hill Arena. Packed it.
dang.
The Rock Hill Arena sold $100 courtside seats, and for the Winthrop and Queens game, there's nobody there because St. Bonaventure fans bought them all.
Dude, that blows my mind.
I have not seen a fan base of a team like that that travels like St. Bonaventure.
Right.
It's unreal.
What are they, like, what's their mascot?
The Bonnies.
The Bonnies, yeah, that's what I thought. I was gonna say the Bunnies, but I was like, "That's not right." Yeah, pretty close. It was on the tip of my tongue, I was like, "I don't wanna sound like an idiot." Well, actually, so I know I'm probably killing you right now, but Duke and, St. John's are tied 65-65 with 6 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's, I think I do win by 6, spread was 6.5, so I put a dab a little bit on St. John's, but, this is you can never count out Rick Pitino. I mean, he's just a legend.
Yeah, that guy's a psychopath.
He is. He's definitely a psychopath, but he's great at
You
what he
like
does.
him?
Yeah, I do. I like how he kinda went back to Iona after all his shenanigans at Louisville, came back, went
Yeah.
to Iona, stayed there for a couple years, led
Mhm.
them to some good things, and then now he's back to a power program, but St. John's, New York's team, it's better when they're good.
Yeah. They need to be good. That's like I'm glad they're I mean, they're back, like, I'm glad they're
Yeah.
back.
Mm.
Yeah, I like Patino too. I also didn't realize we were talking about it last week. He won 2 natties, like, really spread out. Like, it was, what, 3 and 13 or 90?
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, he's been around forever. I mean,
Yeah. He looks like it, dude. He looks like
he does. Yeah.
it's amazing that in 2026 with how many, like, player coaches there are and, like, player-friendly coaches, like, that someone like him can still have success because I know he's probably tough to play for.
Well, you look at when UConn played UCLA, it was Mick Cronin for UCLA and Bobby Hurley for UConn, and there's a minute 30 left. UConn was up by 12. There's a video of both of them cussing out their players.
Yeah.
I mean, one team's down by 12, a minute left, their season's ending.
Yep.
UConn's up by 12, about to win, and they're both cussing out their players. But those coaches are respected when they can do that.
True.
It's a good coach.
And then it works
Yes.
because both of them are good,
Mhm.
which, yeah, that says a lot about their programs and stuff, but, let's see. I really want to, I want you to look at my bracket and just tell me where I went wrong.
Okay. All right.
Alright, I'm gonna skip over, like, the no brain I mean, I'm in 23.4 millionth place.
It's not good. Not good.
Not good, but a lot of room to improve.
You can only go up. I mean, that is true.
I mean, alright, so Duke's up 3. Are you watching the game? You got it pulled up somewhere?
Yes, I do have it pulled up. Yeah.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
didn't wanna keep you from that. I appreciate you
No,
coming on here,
no. Hey,
especially with how
I'm gonna get my setup going. I'm always gonna have the setup going. So
Yeah, yeah.
I got it pulled up. You
So
see me start going crazy, you'll know why.
okay, alright, perfect, yeah. Yeah, if you want feel free to give updates also because, I don't have it pulled up, but,
Okay.
let's see, um, I'm just gonna find a pick that I, like, went out on a whim on, and you tell me if it's stupid.
Okay.
I had Troy beat Nebraska, and they got beat by 30.
So I told 3 or 4 people the day that the tournament started that the
Yeah.
first upset of the season was going to be Troy. I put money on Troy. I thought they might upset Nebraska. Nebraska's never won a tournament game.
That was my whole thing. I'm like, "Dude, it's just, like, too much pressure."
You're betting on the odds. I mean, they've never won a game. What are the odds they do it now? And Troy, I actually I was close to picking them in this bracket that I'm in your pool with because they actually did well against good teams this year. So I thought they'd at least keep it close. I was shocked at that one. That's a good pick, in my opinion.
Okay. That just happened to be a blow so what
Yeah.
what do you classify as, like, a good team? Do you have, like, quad whatever wins and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, so I looked at how teams performed against quad one or quad two teams. That's
Okay.
why my bracket's called Q1, Q2. It's how I abbreviate it to know what this bracket is.
Mm,
So it's how teams perform against quad one and quad two games. And obviously, the better teams are going to perform better. I mean, that's just how it is.
yeah.
One seeds are one seeds for a reason. But if you can, Troy, I thought was a good pick. I thought they were a good team. They played well against quad one or quad two teams. And you might not have won them, but they kept them competitive.
Yeah.
So why they lost by 30, that's, I didn't play basketball. I don't know.
Laid an egg.
Yeah.
So, I picked Missouri to beat Miami, which wasn't a super big upset, but they got beat by 14 points. I picked Georgia to beat St. Louis.
It's Atlantic 10 basketball, St. Louis and VCU.
But let me tell you this. This is the issue. I then picked Georgia to beat Michigan.
I'm not. I think you got unlucky this year because anytime you see a bracket, not all, most of the time. Obviously, last year a little bit different. All 4 ones you get a Final Four. There's a
Yeah.
one seed that loses in the second round. You just happen to pick the wrong one. You have a
Mm.
25% chance of picking the
Yeah.
right one. You were on the wrong side of it. I mean, it happened. I mean, Iowa. I
But,
didn't
like,
expect them to beat Florida, but it happens.
did Georgia have a chance to beat Michigan, or was that just like a dumb pick?
I think Michigan's the best team in the country,
Okay.
so I would have said no. And again,
Yeah.
because I would have said St. Louis would beat Georgia, but I don't. I still think Michigan. Hopefully, they beat Alabama. I still think Michigan's the best. Arizona's getting
Yeah.
up there, but Michigan's been the best all year. So, but I would have said Florida's probably the third best. So would they have lost to Iowa? No. And
Yeah.
here it is.
Fair. So, who you have winning it all? You got Michigan winning it all?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about my pick? Dude, I did a little bit of research, but this is the extent of my research. Like, I guess I'm old school as far as, like, in the tournament, I want older rosters and
Mhm.
guys that can play good defense and, like, big teams. I feel like that. And,
Yep.
like, Texas Tech seemed like they fit the bill to me. I don't know if that was and I had them going to the Final Four, and that made it 1 round.
Did you know JT Tackle was hurt?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that's where, no, I mean, and that's just knowing that they had done, he'd been hurt for probably 6 or 7 games, but maybe
Were
even
they
a little
thinking that
bit
he might be
longer.
able to play?
No, he tore his ACL.
God, dude. See, that's just being lazy, right? There's
But,
64 teams. I can barely keep up with, like, my 3 favorite teams.
and that's where I picked Akron or a couple, but I thought Akron might have a chance against Texas Tech because they were without JT Toppin, but they've done decent with them. I mean, they got blown out by Alabama, but
Mhm.
no, I mean, Texas Tech and JT Toppin, they're probably not a 4 or a 5 seed. They're probably a 3 seed, and they definitely have a chance. That's a really good team, just without
Yeah,
one
without
of
their
the best
best
players in
player.
the country.
Yeah, I probably would have second thought them going to the Final Four, but and then, like, it was pretty demoralizing when I missed the game, so I look up the score and they could beat 90-65. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Jesus Christ, dude, like, I can't do anything. I can't pick my nose right now." Okay, so you think Michigan
yeah.
who you think Michigan with the teams that are left now, who do you think Michigan beats in the final game?
I mean, it's hard to go against Duke and looking like they're going to win this game at least. They're up by 5 with a minute left, so it should hold on to this one.
That's a good game.
I'm an Iowa fan. I wanted to get to this in this podcast. Ben McCollum, the coach of Iowa, is top 5, maybe higher, best postseason coaches of all time.
Wow.
He's
See, I would have never known that.
so followed him. He came from Northwest Missouri State 2 years ago. Brought his whole team to Drake. I saw Drake play in Charleston, and I said they're awesome. I love this team. Bennett Sturts, he's just the man. Their
Yeah.
point guard. They went to the tournament last year, won a game as an 11 seed, and now he went to Iowa, brought the Drake team with him, and added Alvaro Polgara from Robert Morris, and look at him
Mm.
now. He's this coach. He won the Division II national championship at Northwest Missouri State. To
Yeah.
winning a game with Drake, to now being in the Elite Eight with Iowa. I'm gonna keep betting on him. I'm gonna keep picking him.
So definitely not an accident that Iowa ends up where they are. Like,
I'm disappointed in myself for not having gotten any bracket. There's no
yeah,
bracket I had Iowa going. I'm disappointed because
yeah.
how do you bet against the one of the best postseason coaches in college basketball? You
So
should
you're an analytics guy, but that was probably an instance where you probably should have just gone with your heart because you knew it.
exactly just thought about it a little bit rather than just looking at numbers. So wait a second, this is the coach. The
Yeah.
players know how to play in postseason basketball. It's
Yep.
no surprise in my opinion.
You think going forward, pretty like the powerhouse teams are probably going to continue into the Final Four. You think anything? I mean, you like Iowa, but other than that, like any
Yeah, I
other,
mean,
I guess there's not a whole lot of teams that it would be like super shocking if they made it to the Final Four now.
no, and Iowa's that current Cinderella. I mean, but the
Yeah.
Illinois is the tallest team in the country. They're filled with Lithuanians. It's just all European guys on their team. Illinois might beat them by 10, 15. I don't know. But, and then, I mean, Duke's going to play either Michigan State or UConn. I don't, I think Duke can beat either of those teams. So I see
Yeah.
Duke. I don't want to say they have an easier road because they definitely don't have an easier road to the final, but I think Duke's going to be the team out of there.
Out of
And I
the teams left, Duke's probably the team that I've watched the most, and I like Duke. I mean, I don't like Duke personally. I like their team. I think
yeah,
that if I had to pick one right now with what I know, I'd probably go with Duke. But
and Duke's probably the one team I don't want to win out
yeah,
of every
that was gonna
team.
be my next question.
Even like, and it's again, I'm a betting man. I have money on Michigan. I have money on Iowa State, and I have money on UConn.
Okay,
I like Iowa. Illinois would be cool.
yeah,
Arizona is the one team that scares me, but I like Arizona. I know a guy who used to play basketball there. That's just my slight connection there. So I'm
nice.
gonna keep riding. I mean, I like Arizona. If they win it, I won't win money, but hey, good for them.
They've looked good so
Yeah.
far.
I besides them and Michigan, and Michigan's in a tight one right now. I think Arizona's with what they did to Arkansas last night. They definitely
Yeah,
look the part.
I'd
Michigan's up
like.
by 9 now, so
Okay, they're gonna advance most
yeah,
likely. I would say. So yeah, that was my next question was gonna be who do you not want to win?
yeah. That's and basically probably anybody from that. I mean, St. John's, if they can make it out of this game, I wouldn't mind them. But that top left bracket, let's talk about it. I had money on UConn, but I don't think they can. But so I don't know. It's basically just Duke. That's basically it. Give me away
Mason
from Duke.
last week Mason last week went on a rant about how much he hates UConn's coach. I didn't know that to me seems like an unpopular opinion.
It's He's very animated. He's an asshole to the refs. It's
Yeah,
hilarious to watch.
right. I just hadn't heard anybody say that before, and then when Mason just comes out of nowhere, I thought he was
Yeah,
talking about UConn's women's coach.
yeah. No, no Bobby Hurley. He's something else. I think is
Yeah,
it Bobby Hurley or Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley.
Dan Hurley.
Dan Hurley. I've been calling him Bobby all game.
Well, I called him Don Hurley last week twice. Correct
I think
myself. So it is Dan Hurley, but
I think Bobby's his dad. Bobby's his dad or his brother. I don't remember. It's one of them. But okay, Dan Hurley. Yeah, he's just an asshole sometimes,
yeah,
and a lot of people. He's one of those like Rick Pitino and Vic Crowley. He coaches hard, and the
it works.
generation now, a lot of them don't like that.
Yep.
So that can be. I don't mind him. I think it's funny to watch him, but he can be an asshole.
Yeah. I feel like when you get those guys though that can handle tough coaching, that's when you can go on a run
Yep.
because then those guys are going to grind for you and push for you.
And especially now, like their best player, Alex Caravan. I don't know if he is still their best player, but he's been there 5 years. In this day and
Wow,
age, if you're at a school for 5 years, you like the coach.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like the coach a lot
Yes.
for how easy it is, and I'm sure he's a good player. Like there's probably a professional route that he could take too.
Mhm.
I'm sure at some point. So, all right, well, we could I could talk about March Madness with you for forever. Let's keep it moving. If there's anything you want to add before, well, I guess you said Michigan you think is gonna win, or
Mhm.
that's like the best team right now. Like in a perfect scenario, like who do you really want to win? Like is it still Iowa? You think?
It's gonna be Iowa. It's that Cinder I mean, they're a Big
Yeah,
10 team, so are they really a Cinderella? No, but they are. So I'm like, there's smart picks and there's
yeah,
what I hope for. And obviously I hope for Iowa because it's their slight Cinderella. I love Bennett Sturts. Ben McCollum, the coach, is really cool. And that's who I would hope for. That's who I want to win. But
yeah.
they'll probably lose tomorrow night and I'll be a Michigan fan.
There you go. That's kind of what I was thinking though when you mentioned Big Ten. Like that's what I was thinking with not the Big Ten, but like with Georgia, I was like these SEC and Big Ten teams, like none of them are bad. I don't
Yeah.
think if they made the tournament out of those conferences, they're good teams, but it didn't pay off.
And I saw I saw one thing today. I got a stat for you too, but I saw one thing today. I don't like the SEC in anything.
Yeah,
I'm not a
me either.
Clemson fan. I'm not an ACC, but I don't like the SEC. I'm sure you don't either.
I hate the
No.
SEC.
That's not insanely impossible. There's a pretty good possibility. It's possible that there's 4 Big 10 teams in the Final Four. Michigan
Yeah,
State from top left, either Iowa or Illinois. You got Michigan in the bottom right, and you got
mhm.
Purdue in the top right. And I think that'd be awesome. That'd
It's
just be
still in
awesome.
play, dude. It would piss them off.
Yes.
My problem with the SEC, dude, is like you have people that are SEC fans.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me so much. I'm like, you can pick a team, like I don't you can pull for Bama or you can pull for Georgia or LSU. Like those are great teams and they're I don't like those teams either, but like you can't claim a national title when Florida wins it last year. It's like, oh yeah, like we'll all take credit for that. It's like, no, like your team didn't even make it to the NIT.
Yeah. No, listen, I get you want your conference to be good. It makes your team look good.
Yeah.
But there comes to a point where You got to stop. You can't just root for them all the time and claim, oh, look, the SEC did this when
Yeah.
your team wasn't a part of that.
And it's frustrating too as a Clemson fan, like, the ACC lately just seems like they can't do anything right.
Yeah, no.
Like, I mean, maybe for somebody who's like a diehard lacrosse fan might argue that, like, things are going well and, like but, like, for
Yeah.
football and basketball, like, the ACC is moving in the wrong direction.
Now, basketball, they were better this year at least. Last year, they
Yeah,
were downright bad in basketball,
yeah.
but this year they've gotten better. So
I
maybe
mean,
that's on the upturn. Football needs to change the tiebreaker scenarios.
yeah.
That's that
I
might
don't
be another podcast question topic. But,
definitely. Um, we'll have you back on because I have enjoyed talking to you, but football, I don't know what the deal is with football, like, they gotta it's gotta change, and, like, I feel like it's gotta be a big change. Alright,
all right,
so
I got one stat
let's
for you.
okay, fire.
UConn, I think it's the last 20 years or since like 2006 will be 20 years. Every time they've made it past the Sweet 16, they've won the national championship.
Wow.
So they
Come
play in
on.
the Sweet 16 tonight. If they win tonight, watch out.
Would that be their 4th in
I
that
think that'd
span?
be their fourth. Yes. Yeah. So
Alright, that's something to
if they make
watch.
it past Sweet 16, they're winning the national championship.
God, dude, that's good stuff. That's a good bomb to drop on us right there as we move into Major League Baseball. Actually, I wanna hold off on that because I
All right.
wanna do while we're still talking about Cinderellas and upsets or March Madness or whatever,
Yep.
wanna jump into his top 5 segment. Mason, I feel like, loves these, so Mason's gonna have to give us 2 top 5s next week
Yeah.
because he's gonna give it this one. I wanna hear what he's got to say, but I wanna do, like, no research off the top of your head, just top 5 upsets in sports history, and I'll go first, and we'll go
Okay.
5-1, obviously, but
All right.
I'm gonna hit right in your sweet spot with number 5. For me, it was that 2007 Fiesta Bowl, Boise State beating Oklahoma. Like, right off the top of my head, when I think of, like, David and Goliath, like, that was awesome. I remember that was one of my earliest memories, like,
Mhm.
watching football, and, like, that was when bowl games mattered. Like, I don't think that was as sweet as it gets.
Yeah. It was. I remember I was a Boise fan at the time, but I mean, what was it, 2007? So I was probably in second or third grade.
Yeah,
That game ended at midnight, 1 o'clock. I wasn't staying up to watch that. My mom made me go to bed at 9 o'clock or
right.
halftime. Let me go step to halftime on that one. But I
Yeah.
remember the next morning I woke up, saw they won. And my mom was like, "Yeah, I randomly woke up and saw that final play." And my mom saw one of the greatest plays in
Just
football history.
on accident.
Yes, just randomly woke. My mom could name three college football, 3 teams, and
Yeah.
here she is seeing the most iconic plays in football history. As I agree with you on there. I think that is a
I mean,
iconic
that was
upset.
it was so iconic, and, like, I don't think you go a single from for the next 30 years from now, and that's already been 20 years ago
Yep,
almost. For the next 30 years, I don't know that we'll go through a single entire college football season without that being played,
100%.
like, at least once. I mean, it's
Yep.
gonna get like, now it still gets played. I mean, you probably see it every weekend almost if you're
Oh,
looking.
yeah, all the Boise State stuff I follow, I mean, I see it quite often. I watch the entire it's always the hook and ladder and then the Statue of Liberty, and I watch it every time. I watch the entire
Oh,
video
yeah, me
every time.
too, and, like, I got
Yeah,
no ties to either one, but that's freaking awesome, and, like
yeah.
but what's your number 5?
Number 5, funny enough, that was it. So,
Wow.
I'd go the homer in there. So, I think whether 2, I think we are gonna have the same, maybe 3, and,
Yeah.
that I look at that was my number 5. It's
Watch us go 5 for 5.
yeah, that would be wild.
So, my number 4 is I got Y.E. Yang chasing down Tiger Woods at the 2009 PGA Championship at
Mhm.
Hazeltine. Tiger had never he converted every 54-hole lead he's ever had in a major at that point, and then, like, you got Y.E. Yang, which at the time, like, the people were like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah,
And, just took him down, which is a soft spot right now because Tiger got taken down again today, but
yeah,
we won't get into all that. We'll
yeah.
praying for the big fella. Hopefully, he is all
Gets
good,
right.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
gets better.
But, yeah, that's my number 4.
Yeah, no, I like that. I was kind of, thinking about it, and I was trying to go through sports of what sports I could pick, and honestly, as much as I'm a golfer as you are, I didn't think of anything golf wise, and you say that, I like that a lot. I didn't remember. I didn't even think there could be
Yeah,
much in golf. And there's certain sports
yeah.
like, yeah, there's no huge upsets like that, but in golf, somebody didn't cross my mind. But so that's a really good one. I like that.
If Rocco would have beat Tiger in that playoff, that'd be number 1 on my list
Yep,
probably.
yep, that'd be good.
What's your number 4?
My number 4, sticking college football, App State beat Michigan. Just kind of nobody expected it. At least the Boise one, they were good. They were undefeated. They were a
Right.
very good team. Michigan, what was Michigan at the time? Number 4 or something in the country,
Number 4.
maybe? Yeah.
They're
So,
number 4, yeah.
yeah. And then you got at the Big House week 1. There might have been FCS upsets over FD. Only even called that at the time, but it's just it was unreal. And it's what put App State on the map. It's what brought App State to where they are now. And that's
100%.
the same way with what Boise. That's what brought Boise on the map. That Fiesta Bowl
Yeah.
is what brought App State on the map.
If App State doesn't win that game 20 years ago, they're probably not even an FBS team this now.
And the whole way that transpired, the blocked field goal, just cinema. It's great.
As good as it gets, and in the Big House too, and that's my number 3.
Okay.
Like, that was freaking electric, and that's another one of those things, like, you're not gonna probably go through an entire college football season without seeing that blocked field
No.
goal.
Yeah.
And then the guy getting tackled and just, like, freaking launches the ball into the
Yeah.
stands, like,
Yeah.
that's, yeah, that's something I was, what, 8 years old? Well, for one, that game probably wasn't even on TV.
It might not, maybe it was
Like,
on Big Ten Network when Big Ten Network was only played in Michigan and Ohio and
yeah.
Indiana. That might have been it. So yeah, I don't know if you could really watch it anywhere, but
And that was
unreal.
the good thing about that is, like, a lot of people had Michigan picked to win the national championship that year. Ohio State was also good, so it was like everybody was kinda envisioning this collision course, and then here comes App State in, like, September.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, like, early in the season? It's like, what, no one saw that coming, and I think Michigan went on to go, like, 7-5 or maybe not
Yeah.
even win that many games.
And
But
that's, going back to at the time, obviously it's that's still, the early BCS days.
mhm.
At the time, they were out. Sorry, your
Okay.
season's done. You have nothing to play for anymore, and that's another topic for another time. That's why I like playoff expansion. You can always have a mistake, but
Was that '07 or '06?
I think it was '06.
Okay. I was gonna say, 'cause '07 was, like, one of the craziest football
Yeah,
seasons of all time.
then it actually might have been '07. Now that you say
I
that,
can't remember.
because watching YouTube videos of the '07 season, I feel like that kicks it off.
Mhm.
It might. I don't know. I don't remember if that was '06 or '07.
Maybe. I need to look that up, but dude, college football is gonna be electric. I
Yeah,
can't wait to do podcast episodes during college
yeah.
football season. I'm sure you'll be joining us.
Oh yeah.
What's your number 3?
Number 3, it's the last one I think we're gonna have similar.
Okay.
UMBC over Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I hate to probably that might be your number 2, might be your number 1. I don't know, but that's. And I was thinking about it. I don't have Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue as a 16/1. Just the way that UMBC, they were tied at halftime
Mhm.
and they won by 20. Just utter
Oh,
domination.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the utter domination. I mean, it wasn't close. Fairleigh Dickinson barely beat Purdue. Still an
Yeah,
unreal upset, but
but just to get to was Virginia, they were the overall number
yes.
1 seed,
Yeah.
right? And just get dominated by a school that, like, I'd
Nobody
never
knew.
heard of.
No,
Never heard of them.
no. It was unreal. That coach is now coaching Virginia. Fun fact.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. Virginia, smart on Virginia, like, "This guy kicked our ass,
We're gonna
bring him
get.
in."
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go get him.
Yeah.
Which that's my number 2.
Okay. Yeah. So I figured
Curious
that. I figured that.
I'm curious where you went with number 1 because mine is,
Well, I gotta do my
you're
number 2.
definitely
I gotta do number 2.
oh,
That's
yeah,
my
go
number
ahead.
3. My
Oh,
number
yeah,
2
you're right, you're right.
my number 2 is Rich Strike winning the Kentucky Derby.
Okay, yeah. Yep,
Couple years ago, went off at
yep.
90, maybe like 105-1 odds. That's another thing. When I see that video, you see the video every Kentucky Derby, and I love horse racing. I think it's an awesome Kentucky Derby is the greatest 2 minutes of sports. But that
Well,
call by Larry Colmus is probably the best call of him just yelling "Rich Strike." It sends me
yeah,
goosebumps every single time. I
yeah,
love it.
I forgot about that. That is a great call. Who called that?
This guy named Larry Colmus. He calls every Triple
Okay,
Crown race. He's one of the best. He's awesome. But yeah,
that's
Rich Strike winning that, it's loved it.
you're a sicko, dude.
Yeah,
When you're calling out
yeah.
the freaking guy who's calling the
Hey,
Kentucky Derby by name and, like, but, I do remember that, and I didn't even horse racing didn't even cross my mind, and,
it was.
that was electric.
I'll tell you. I was going to tell you. Kentucky Derby's first Saturday in May. I want to be back on here before that, so I'll give you my
Okay,
Kentucky Derby
alright.
picks. That
I
that
was
was
gonna
I was going
say
to tell you that. That's why I want to be back on here.
alright, perfect. That's coming up, and also, if you I mean, I'd love to have a Masters preview if you wanna drop in for that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll, that's 2 weeks, got Texas Open next week and then the Masters. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, which probably won't get to see Big Cat out there, but you
No.
never know.
He said he's gonna be there. I mean, who knows what he's gonna be
He'll
doing.
be there. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Charlie drives him.
With that Rory dinner, I'd be there too.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I know this is changing the subject slightly, we'll get back to it. Like, genuinely hope Tiger's alright. Like, I feel like he's going through a lot more than people realize.
It's I mean, I was talking to my coworker today, and he's been on pain pills and whatnot. Not like habitually, but he had some hernia surgery, and he's been on pain pills, and it'll mess you up. But with all the stuff the Tiger's been through,
Yeah.
he's in constant pain. You got to be.
Yep.
You wake up in the morning, he's gonna be in pain. It's easy. It's got to be easy to just pop pills and make yourself feel better. It
No
stops.
one wants yeah, no one wants to live in pain, and then, like, he's having surgeries
Yeah, constantly.
yearly at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll go to golf for my number 1 here, and, this is kinda a hilarious one because it was off the top of my head, and I went I was, like, pretty stacked from 5 to 2, like, with, like, iconic ones, but then this one, I saw something caught my eye when I was making this list, and it made me think, Francis Ouimet beating Harry Vardon in 1913 US Open
Yeah.
at Brookside
I
had to
mean,
be the greatest upset of all time.
you make a movie about that. It's got to be good.
That's what I'm saying, like, this guy, I mean, he lived in walking distance, he had to, like I mean, if the movie's historically accurate, then this is the greatest upset of all
Yeah.
time. He's, like,
Okay.
just scraping coins together to, like, be able to pay the entry fee into, like, the AM,
Yeah.
and then just kicking everybody's ass, like, best players in the world, like, shoot, like, the first time around the course, he shot 79, like,
Yeah.
what an improvement to fire, like, back-to-back, like, 60 I don't know what he shot, but
Yeah.
he beat Harry
It's
Vardon.
No, that's why I didn't even think about that, and truthfully, I don't know if I would have ever thought about that 113 years ago. So I don't know if I would have, but no, that's a really good, yeah, you got a movie made after you, it's Brookline hosted it not too long ago. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
And so I'll go my number 1, in my opinion, it's the first thing that came to my mind. The greatest upset is Leicester City winning Premier League in 2016. They were
okay.
plus like 50,000 to win the Premier League. Premier League's won by 4 teams, 5 teams. That's all it is. Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. That's all it is. And you got Leicester
2016?
City. Leicester City just and because it's not one weekend, it's not one tournament, it's not one game. They play
Yeah,
38 matches,
wow.
and they were the best. And the bars in Leicester when that happened, when they won, unreal.
I I vaguely remember that. I remember that going down. That's sick. I don't watch soccer, but
And I have a bonus one here too. It has not
okay,
happened yet.
honorable mention. We love
Honorable
honorable
mention.
mention.
Has not happened yet, but on pace to happen. And if it does, it will go down as one of the better ones. Also in soccer, in the
Yeah,
Scottish Premier League, there's a team called Hearts that is leading the table by like 3 or 4 points. Now, if the
yeah,
Scottish Premier League is for the last 46 years, around 46 years, has only been won by Celtic or Rangers. 2
wow,
teams that play in Glasgow. It's basically Catholic versus Protestants. Celtic is Catholics, Rangers is Protestants. It's
damn.
been around since way 1800s.
And
Hearts, they're in second and third, and Hearts is some random team. There's
yeah,
12 teams in the Scottish Premier League, and this random team is going to win on pace to win this league for the first time in 46 years, up someone other than Rangers or Celtic. So I think that would be in my top 5 if it had happened
if that
already.
happens.
But
How do you
it should
follow
happen.
this? How do I follow this?
I don't know how you watch this. I don't know. I follow enough soccer stuff on Instagram that I'll see the updated table once a week. I don't
Okay,
watch any of it, but I just see the table, and that's kind of how I know about it. But so I'm rooting
okay.
for him. Hearts, great name, Hearts.
Hearts. Yeah, how can you not? So, damn, that's sick. I got nothing when it comes to soccer, and
Yeah,
you're freaking sicko, dude. You threw horse racing at me, you threw 2 soccer at me,
no,
so you were not literally the only ones we did have in common were, like, the only ones that we even possibly could have, so we were
yes,
at least thinking along the same lines.
yeah. And you're more of a golf historian than me, so again, I know current golfers. That's really about it. I don't even
Well, I wouldn't
think
even
about
know if
more.
I'm considered a golf historian, but because the Francis we met when, like, that was so random, like, even
Yeah,
when I can't remember what caught my Golf Channel was on, and like something. It might have just been like Brookline or something somehow, like a highlight or something. I was like, dude. Francis, we
That's
met. Harry Barden was like number one in the world, and Francis we met like is a caddy at the club. Like, come on.
yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Anyway, you told me before this episode that MLB opening day is like can't miss,
Mhm.
and I am all in on Tampa Bay Rays. You're the only other Tampa Bay Rays fan that I know, other than this guy I met in a bar in Charlotte, and
There you
don't
go.
remember his name, but he liked this hat. But Rays lost yesterday.
Devastating fashion.
Absolutely laid an egg late. There we go.
There we go.
There we
We got it
go.
on now.
Now we're ready. But what's your kind of overall? We'll start with the Rays. Like we got rid of a lot of pieces that were pretty important to us last year, but I mean we didn't make the playoffs last year, so I don't know if that was the worst thing. But like, what's your kind of overall expectations for Tampa Bay this year?
I used to follow it a lot more, and especially when the Charlotte Knights played at Fort Mill, and it was a 20-minute drive for me to go to games. I'd go whenever they
Hmm.
played the Durham Bulls all the time. I'd go, so I'd see a lot of the prospects, follow it a lot more. Like last year, I didn't follow it as much, but looked at the starting lineup for yesterday's game, and it's just like it's a lot of young prospects that you just
Yeah.
don't know how they're going to pan out. I mean, you still got some good guys, but I mean, some of the glue guys from last year, Brandon Lau's gone. Jose
Yep.
Caballero's on the Yankees now. And I know it's been 2 years.
Yep.
Tyler Glasnow's on the Dodgers. Blake Snell's been gone a few years. Randy
Yep.
Rosarena, I love Randy. He's on the Mariners now. I mean, it's hard to be a Tampa
Yeah.
Bay Rays fan and like people because they're probably going to be gone at some point.
And that
Or
was
I talked to
I
my
like.
dad last year, and I've told my dad, yeah, they're going to be an 81 team. And my dad would ask me about once every 2 weeks, "So what are the Rays doing?" And they were at 500 every single time.
Yeah.
That's Tampa Bay
Yeah.
Rays.
So you kind of seeing that again for this year, just like
I mean,
and like
that's
our over under is less than that. For Vegas has us like 77.5 or something like that.
isn't yeah. I mean, with how the years have been, I'd take the over, get that 81 mark, and just hold on. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. You got to hope they kind of start out strong. Maybe show
Yeah.
some fight. Last year, relief pitching I think was an issue, and starting out that way as well. Ian Seymour giving up 5 earned runs, not getting it out.
Did
It's
we
not 2
got
years.
rid of Fairbanks, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's gone too.
And then like I liked Jake Mangum last year.
Mm,
Like he was a grinder,
yep.
and then he's gone.
Yeah, he was a good story because I think he's a Tampa kid, wasn't he? I think he's a Tampa kid. I
He
think so.
was, and
He's
he
a good.
played at like Mississippi State.
Yep.
This Southern, we get dude, Tampa Bay's got a lot of just like American whites.
Yeah, yeah, that's all. Yeah, they got it's yeah, Mega Whites, and they used to. I mean, yeah, it's less now. I mean, it used to be some Dominicans on there or Spanish
Yeah,
speakers, but now it is a lot of American Whites.
dude, it's a lot of. But our best players are like Jonathan Aranda's from Mexico, and like
Yep.
I don't know where Yandy Diaz is from, and then Caminero is a freaking stud.
Yeah, and Yanni Diaz, he is a stud. He's got to be the longest tenured Ray as of right now. I think he's been there for a while.
Yeah, they were trying their best to deal him this
Yep.
offseason, but we kept him. But let's go through this real quick, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I don't know how long we've been going. My things. Where are we?
50 minutes, I think, 51.
Perfect. All right. I didn't do much research behind
Your
this.
light shut out. I don't know if you have a light or not, but it got darker.
Let me get back to where I was. Boom.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how bad the lighting is in this room. That was literally me going from my Google Doc, which is it's all white, to the Riverside app, which is black. And
Yeah.
anyway, I'm back here, but I don't. I follow the Rays. Like I'm new to. I followed it all year last year. Like I bought
Mhm.
MLB TV. I was in there. I watched probably not the whole game start to finish, but I bet I had on 5 Rays games last year.
That's more than most people, guaranteed.
Like I was trying to just and like I set it where on my lock screen while the Rays were playing, I'd get like the live score all the so like I
Yep.
was already always keeping up with it, but I didn't really I didn't really give a shit about the other teams much. So when I wanna go through and like with very little research, I don't know if you've done research, but I definitely haven't. But I just want to go through and like give our kind of our guesses at who's gonna win each division. Some of them are easy.
Yeah.
which I'll start with the NL West, which I have the Dodgers,
Yeah,
surprisingly.
if you say anything other than that, you're just
Yeah,
not gonna be right. It's yeah, I mean, if they can pay somebody $1 billion, they're gonna they're gonna win the division. It's just gonna
that's
happen.
the frustrating part about being a Rays fan, and I haven't been in it as long as you have, but, like, it just seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, the one thing, obviously no salary cap in baseball. But what
Yeah,
a lot of people say should happen, and I'm fine. There's, soccer doesn't have a salary cap, so the world's game
yeah,
doesn't have a salary cap. So not necessarily saying you need that. You need a
yeah,
salary floor though, because you need certainty that the A's, the Pirates, and the Rays are always going to be at the bottom if they don't spend money.
yeah.
And for a while, the Rays were doing good with that, and
Dude,
making the wild card, competing in the division.
I
It's
think that speaks wonders that, like, Kevin Cash
Mhm.
can manage his ass off, I think. But at the same time, like, you're just not gonna be able to beat the Dodgers without it just being a freaking miracle.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be a if we went and won the World Series this year, I think we might make the top 5.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would be. You look at what the payroll is, and even took the Dodgers to 6 in the 2021 World
2021,
Series.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, no, that's yeah, you can. That's why I like the Rays from Florida. I'm like the only team from Florida I like, being from down there,
yeah,
weirdly enough. But
true. Never thought
they're
about that.
they're an analytics team, and they're the first team to really use analytics. And in
Yep,
21, when the whole thing with analytics is batters do better against pitchers on the third time around. So Blake Snell, and I guess that was game 6, was pitching his ass off. He's throwing a but it was third time around the lineup, and
yep.
Kevin Cash said, "Sorry, see you." And he was
Told
pissed
him.
off at that, and I think, he left after that,
The
and he
casual
came back.
fan would probably be like, "That's a terrible decision," but, like, if you don't know what went into it.
If the analytics got you there all year, why go against it in game 6 of the World Series? I mean, that's the reason why you're there, probably has something to do with it.
Yep. So, that was actually so last year, like, I really wanted to get into baseball because this offseason, like, I love NFL, college
Mhm.
football, like, that's my by far my favorite, but this offseason kills me, and, like, I can't get into the NBA.
No.
Um, I try. Mason's helped me a little bit with this, but I was like, I gotta if I'm gonna watch baseball, I've never given it a chance before. I gotta pick a team to be invested in, and, like, you kinda went into my thought process because, like, I know way too many Braves fans. I'm not pulling for the
Yep.
Braves. I'm like, the next closest team really is
Tampa.
probably Tampa Bay, and then you were the only Rays fan that I knew, and I was like, "All right, I like CT. Let's roll with this thing. I'm pulling for the Rays." So, but it's been good. I just hope that we can. I freaking love baseball though. Like I
Mhm.
got in it, and like it's so underrated.
Yeah. No, it's a great sport, and it'd be different if Atlanta wasn't, what, 4 hours away?
Yeah,
I mean, I can go, not that we can go to a Tampa game, obviously, but, you know,
right.
if the team was in Charlotte, it'd be different. I can go watch a Charlotte baseball game,
Exactly.
but being in Atlanta, I'm not gonna drive 4 hours. If I'm gonna root for a home team I'm gonna wanna go to some of their games. I'm not driving 4 hours to go to Atlanta to watch a baseball game. So, if you're not gonna pick that team, go with
Yep.
someone else.
100%. So with that being said, let's go all the way across the country to the other league. We'll go American League East,
Mhm.
our division. Who you got winning that one?
Same reason as the Dodgers, the Yankees.
Same here.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that those to me were the two easiest ones.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, listen, I mean, Toronto coming out of the American League East made the World Series last
Yeah,
year. They won, didn't they? They won it, right? They won the World
they
Series.
won. Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
did. And
yeah.
then
Because Seattle, beat Seattle in the ALCS. No, Dodgers won. Dodgers beat Toronto.
oh yeah, I thought you
Yeah,
meant the
yeah.
American League.
Sorry,
I thought you were talking about
yeah.
the American League.
I blanked down the Dodgers there. Yeah, no. So Toronto made it to the World
Yeah, yeah,
Series.
yeah. That's what I thought you were talking about who won the American League.
Yeah, I
But
I,
yeah,
I blanked out there. No, so Yankees are the obvious choice, but see what Toronto did last year.
and that was another thing too. Like baseball always gives you reasons to have hope.
Mhm.
I don't think we won the season long series against Toronto, but like every time we played them, I kept thinking like, God, dude, we should be able to beat these guys.
Yeah,
And it's torturous at the same time because then you'll go like lose a series to the Rockies, and you're like, what are we doing?
yeah.
I don't know that we did that, but no, we that was our opening day game
I would
last
say,
year.
yeah. Opening series was the Rockies. I think
Yeah,
started out hot. It's all right. This is our year.
yeah. So it was looking like it early. After the All-Star break, we forgot how to play baseball.
Yeah.
Let's go American League Central.
I went Detroit. You got Scooble, best
Yep.
pitcher in the American League. I mean, you're gonna get a win, a guaranteed win every 5 games.
Yeah.
You got the rest of the squad doing well too. It's hard to go against Detroit there.
Scooble was the only reason that I picked them. That was I looked at that and then I saw the Tigers. I'm like, they're pretty good last year for the majority of the season. And I was like, and they got Scoobles.
And if you play in the same division as the White Sox, you're probably gonna do well.
That's true too.
You play them a lot, so
Yeah, that is a good point. All right, so let's just go round out the American League, the AL West, which is a division that I probably know the least about.
in as much as the Angels aren't anything now, I want to see the Angels win because the Angels have done nothing. I mean, Mike Trout, I'd love to see him win. He's been
Yeah.
the Angels for what seems like 40 years, and he's won nothing. So
He went
one,
he went yo
yeah, he's unreal. And if he was on any other team, he'd, I mean, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he, could
yeah.
actually get a World Series ring. I went Seattle again.
So did I. We might have the same on all 6 of these, but I went Seattle too. I just think they're good. Don't they have a Rosarena still, don't they?
Yeah, and I love Randy. He's so fun. I mean, he's even when I think after he got traded, he came back to Tampa, and the Randy zone in left field was there, and they were still there when Randy came back as a Mariner. So Randy's
Okay.
awesome. He was really fun to watch.
I've gone back on YouTube and watched all those home runs he hit in that playoff run to
Oh
the
my
World
god,
Series.
it was unreal. There's nothing like it. I mean, he
He
just
set the
every time he
record,
got
right?
up, yeah, yeah. I forget exactly how many it was, but every time he got up, it was all right. He's 50-50,
See ya.
home run or not.
Yeah, see ya. I'm hoping Caminero can kinda be that guy. But like you said before this, when we were talking, you were like, if he's on pace to hit 40 home runs, he will probably be gone before the All-Star break.
Unfortunately, because just how the front office works for the Rays, they're going to see that we can get some prospects for him and
Sell
make
high.
another Randy or whoever. So that's the Rays for you.
Yeah, but hopefully it works out.
Uh,
I'd like to somehow hold on to him and pay him what he's worth, but
yeah.
I'm not I'm new to this, so I'm not even gonna hold
Yeah,
my breath.
yeah. You'll don't buy a jersey. I'll put it that way.
No,
Don't get a number. Do you want to get a jersey? That's fine. Just don't get a number on it. Or
maybe get like a Longoria jersey.
yeah, go old school. You get Longoria. I used to love Will Myers when he was on there. I think get a Myers jersey. Get something. Yeah, Carl
Yeah,
Crawford. You have Longoria.
not a current player. All right, let's go NL East.
Anybody but the Braves. That's
That's
how
kinda where
that's
I'm
who
at.
I'm rooting for. Um, Nationals are not good. Phillies are fine, but I mean, the Mets have been doing good things. That's why I have circled here is the Mets.
Yeah,
Um, they've been doing good things. They're still kind of the laughing stock of the MLB, kind of like the Cowboys are in the NFL. Just
yeah.
look how they're supposed to be good and they're not. Same way with the Mets, but I think they'll sneak the division and then, lose in the first round.
The Mets spend a lot of money too, don't they? Like,
Yeah.
are they
They're
3rd?
Probably third, yeah. I can't think of who would be third if they're not.
Yeah. I gotta actually have the Phillies, but I kinda flipped a coin between the Phillies and the Mets, but I don't know. The Phillies to me last year, they just seemed like they were a little bit better, and, like, I trust them more than I do trust the Mets, but
Yeah, I think
I don't like the Phillies.
yes, and I don't anything Philadelphia, just it's hard to like. I think that flipping a coin is probably the best way to do it. I mean, the Mets definitely don't trust them to do anything.
And that was, like, when I started watching baseball last year, I kept having to remind myself, like, these are the same fans that pull for the Eagles. Like, these are the same people. Like, just because this is baseball now, I still hate these people. We went on our early episodes when football was still going on. I feel like the Eagles weren't even still around in the play. Like, we started, I think, like divisional round and stuff, and the Eagles were long gone. And we still just took time to just like rip 'em. We were just ripping Philly sports for like 20 minutes an episode. And same with Boston. Mason hates Boston being a Miami Dolphins and Heat fan. Like, he can't
Yeah,
stand.
yeah, and I've my boss, a big Boston Bruins fan, loves everything about the Bruins, and being a Vancouver Canucks fan of hockey, I hate the Bruins as well. It's the
Yeah.
reason why the city of Vancouver burned down
Yep.
about a decade ago. So, but yeah, so I'm there with you. Tampa Bay Rays fan, don't like the Red Sox either. So I'm there with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So. All right, NL Central.
It's battle of mid is what the NL Central is.
I picked the Cubs, and that was literally like you.
Yeah, and I like the Cubs. They're Shota, their starting pitcher. He's really cool. I think if I had to root for a team, it's the Brewers.
Yeah,
I think they still have Willie Adames. He was playing for the Rays. He was really cool. He was really good. But I like the Brewers. I have the
Yelich.
Cubs circled as well. I
Yeah,
did, I did pick the Cubs, but again, it's a you could pick probably any of the teams in the NL Central and say, okay, that's fine.
yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, we can have this conversation in like early August and be a little bit surprised about the AL East.
Yeah.
I think third would be fantastic for us.
hmm
If
Get
we
get
get third
third.
in the AL East.
Get be I just want a competitive year. I want reasons to watch these games come early August.
Yep,
Still have hope. Say, oh, this is a big game. They're
yep.
2 or 3 games back to the wild card. You need to win these, and whether you make the wild card or not, obviously you hope so. But just
Right.
have
You want it to
competitive
matter
baseball. Yeah, absolutely.
because we ran out of gas so hard last year after the All Star break. Like we were almost first place in the entire American League at one point, and
hmm
then it's like I think we might have been first place, and then just ran out of gas so hard that it was like the last 2 weeks of the season were irrelevant.
Yeah.
No, maybe like last month and a half of the season was
It's
like
just you
we
can
can't
just see
catch
it come.
anybody.
You could see it coming as well. I mean, you tune in
Yeah,
and there it goes. And it's just the one thing I was shocked to see yesterday the Rays putting up 7. The one thing the Rays, especially last year, they've always done hitting's never been great. And
2-1 every
yeah,
game. It felt like.
so get the game over with quick. 2 hours and 15 minutes, game's over
Yeah,
because it's all pitching. But you know, seeing 7 was definitely a good sign. Giving up 5 and no outs halfway through
yeah,
the game's not a good thing.
no, and I I was playing a golf tournament and I had to raise up and like it was 7-1. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
start to the season. And then I like swiped away. It was 6 innings, 7-1. I'm thinking it's over. And then I mean I'll take the blame, honestly. I freaking jinxed
Look,
us.
yeah. No, I was saying while I was at work, I saw 7-1, had the same thing, pulled up a lock screen, 7-1, and I
Perfect.
looked back, did some stuff at work, came back, it was 7-5. Oh, that's not good. And then I looked at 9-7. Okay,
9-7.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Which I got the MLB app sent me a notification saying like the final and then like there's little stats underneath and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Go back and look. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then I got home, watched the highlights on YouTube and was like, well, that's
Yeah.
typical.
Oh, just got to get it
But
back 2:15 tomorrow, Cardinals, I think. So,
yep,
a day off, recoup, and
we'll
game
be
2 is 162.
we'll be we'll be on 8 we'll be done with 8 we'll be on 18.
Yeah, yeah, just about.
So anyway, you got anything to add? Anything you want to say? I'm sure we'll have you back on and then Mason will probably come back from his hiatus next week and then we'll go from there. But thanks for coming on, dude. You gave us some freaking great nuggets.
Well, I
Especially with
appreciate
the
it. Thanks
Yukon
for
one. The Yukon one was the nugget of the night.
listen. If they win now, if they lose tonight, then it's going to be all for nothing. But if they win, it's watch out.